The crimson hologram flickered to life across 1,000 worlds, casting its ominous glow in council chambers, military bunkers, and civilian centers throughout human space. Admiral Vexthul of the Hegemony's Third Fleet stood resplendent in his ceremonial armor, his four eyes gleaming with the confidence of a species that had conquered half the galaxy. Primitive humans. His voice resonated through quantum transmitters, the universal translator rendering his words in 12 human languages. The Galactic Hegemony has observed your species for 3 rotations. You have proven adequate. Therefore, we extend to you the honor of voluntary integration into our empire. The hologram displayed the familiar sight of Earth's blue marble, rotating slowly as targeting reticules appeared over major population centers. You have 72 standard hours to broadcast your unconditional surrender across all frequencies. Failure to comply will result in the systematic cleansing of your worlds, beginning with your origin planet. Your technology will be harvested, your resources claimed, your survivors relocated to suitable labor colonies. The transmission ended with clinical efficiency, leaving humanity to contemplate its ultimatum. In the depths of Luna Base Command, Fleet Admiral Sarah Chen stared at the now empty holographic projector. Around the circular table sat the Joint Chiefs of the Terran Defense Force, their faces grim but determined. The silence stretched for long moments before General Martinez spoke. Intelligence reports confirm it. They have 12 dreadnoughts, each one the size of Manhattan. Our entire fleet combined wouldn't scratch their paint. Conventional assessment suggests 0 probability of military victory, added Admiral Petrov, his cybernetic implants glowing softly as he processed tactical data. They've glassed civilizations that were centuries ahead of us technologically. Chen nodded slowly, her weathered hands clasped before her. At 63, she had commanded humanity's expansion to the stars, overseen the colonization of 47 worlds, and united the scattered nations of Earth under a single banner when the first alien signals were detected. Now she faced the greatest decision in human history. "Ma'am," interrupted Communications Director Kim, "we're receiving thousands of messages from across human space. The colonies want to know what our response will be." "What are our options?" Chen asked, though she already knew the answer. "Surrender, and hope they honor their word about not killing us all," Martinez said bitterly, "or fight and guarantee extinction." Chen stood and walked to the massive viewport overlooking Earth. City lights twinkled like stars across the night side, each one representing millions of lives hanging in the balance. "There's a third option." The room fell silent. "We give them what they asked for," she continued. Silence. 48 hours passed without a single transmission from human space. The Hegemony's monitoring stations detected no emergency broadcasts, no panicked evacuations, no diplomatic overtures. The human worlds simply continued their routine communications, commerce, and daily life, as if the ultimatum had never been issued. Admiral Vexthul's mandibles clicked in irritation as his communications officer delivered the report. "Nothing, sir. Complete radio silence regarding surrender negotiations." "Perhaps they didn't receive our transmission?" "Negative, Admiral. We detected quantum resonance spikes on all their major worlds immediately after broadcast. They received it." Vexthul's 4 eyes narrowed. In his 2 centuries of conquest, he had never encountered this response. Species either surrendered immediately upon witnessing hegemony firepower, or they sent desperate negotiations, pleading for mercy or more time. But silence? This was unprecedented. "Sir," his tactical officer interjected, "we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the human systems, massive power buildups on multiple worlds. Industrial mobilization for war production? Unknown, sir. The energy patterns are unlike anything in our databases." As the 72-hour deadline expired, Vexthul ordered his fleet to move into Earth's system. They emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, their massive hulls blotting out stars. The sight should have sent the primitive humans into panic. Instead, Earth transmitted a single message on all frequencies. Not words, but pure mathematical equations. sequences that made Vexthul's science officers lean forward in confusion, then horror. "Admiral," his chief scientist whispered, "these formulas, they describe our ship designs, reactor specifications, shield frequencies, navigation algorithms, things we've never shared with anyone." Before Vexthul could respond, space around his fleet began to shimmer, not with the familiar distortions of human technology, but with something far more unsettling. Reality itself seemed to bend, and through the tiers in space-time stepped vessels that defied physics, ships that moved without engines, turned without thrusters, and radiated power signatures that made hegemony dreadnoughts look like children's toys. The lead vessel opened a channel, and Admiral Chen's weathered face appeared on Vexthul's screen. Behind her stood beings that clearly weren't human, tall, ethereal creatures with silver skin and eyes like galaxies. "Admiral Vexthul," Chen said calmly, "I'd like you to meet the architects. They've been humanity's silent partners for quite some time now. They find conquest and slavery distasteful." One of the silver beings stepped forward, its voice resonating with harmonics that made Vexthul's carapace vibrate. "The humans call themselves primitive, but they possess something your species lacks, Admiral. The wisdom to know when they are outmatched, and the courage to seek alternatives to brute force. We offered the humans membership in our collective eons ago," another architect explained. "They declined, preferring to earn their place among the stars through their own efforts. But they accepted our friendship, and our protection should anyone threaten them unjustly." Vexthul felt his confidence crumble as more tiers in reality opened around his fleet. Dozens of architect vessels materialized, each one capable of erasing his entire armada with a thought. "You demanded surrender," Chen continued, her voice carrying the weight of absolute authority. "We chose to respond with silence because sometimes the most powerful answer is to let your friends speak for you." The hegemony fleet retreated without firing a single shot, carrying with them a story that would spread throughout the galaxy like wildfire. The tale of a species so remarkable that beings of near godlike power chose them as allies, a species that faced extinction with such dignity and wisdom that the universe itself stood up to defend them. Humanity had not surrendered. They had not fought. They had simply shown the galaxy that true strength sometimes lies not in what you can destroy, but in who chooses to stand beside you when the darkness comes calling. The silence had spoken volumes,